So we're back at the board now, and we're still talking about tweaking the prongs on this Tudor Pro line base. And so far what we've done was we flattened these rear prongs, and we're still doing run tests. We haven't used our worn pliers yet on these prongs. So I'm going to move up to the front prongs, and I'm going to start flattening those ones. So we do the same thing. I'm going to turn it upside down so you can see how far my pliers are inside the base. Okay, remember, you don't want to go all the way down to the shell, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to keep the front of the base facing you like so. So I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to come down the prongs like so. And I'm going to flatten. All right. I'm going to go on the left side here and do the same thing. Come all the way down the prong and flatten. Now, with these Pro lines, you really don't have to bite down that hard. This plastic is rather soft. Pretty much just come down the prong, smash a little bit. All right. So now we got those prongs kind of swept back kind of decent. Can you see that, Mike?
Yeah, I see that. Looks good.
All right. So let's lay the base down real quick. See how it runs. Still kind of dragging a little bit. Let's move it back some. Try to move it back to about the 10-yard line. See how it goes. Okay. It gets out a little bit faster. See, mind you, my board, the motors on this board are very moderate. I digress for a moment, but I want to talk a little bit about that real quick. I got a motor at the 15-yard line, one at the 50, and another one at the other 15-yard line. So there might be a little dead spot somewhere. But as you watch the base come from the 10-yard line, can you see the 10-yard line from where you are?
Yeah, I see it.
All right.
I can see the base.
Say again?
I can see the base on the 10.
Okay. Let me do this. Loosen things up a bit and move the camera slightly over some.
Yeah, it's better too.
Okay. Let's run it from the 10-yard line, see how it goes. Runs a little bit better. And all we've done was just flatten the prongs. And the base tends to veer a little bit to the left a bit, but that's okay. It's only a matter of adjusting the height of these prongs. And it's these prongs on this side right here that's causing this base to turn a little bit. And again, you want to make sure you don't twist your hand while you're flattening these prongs. Okay. All right. Let me lay the base down again. I'm always run testing, Mike. Always run test.
Yeah.
It's got a little more juice on it. I'm gonna later put this base on an aluminum board, and I'm gonna run it there. All right.
Yeah, that looks good right there.
Yeah, you see how it jumps off a 10-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was to put it on an aluminum board, I'm sure we'll get a lot more speed out of it. All right, so make sure we got an alignment here. See, I don't put heat on my pliers until I first get this base to act right with just cold pliers and flattening the prongs.
Yeah.
See, that way you reduce the chances of ruining your base. See how it runs. Still got a little more turn on it.
Yeah.
But again, at this point, I'm not worried about it because my main concern is to get this bass to just move. And of course, if the bass continues to turn like this, and if it shows good speed and strength, it could end up playing safety for me. You know, sometimes if a bass doesn't respond to the things I do to it, I'll find a place for it on my team.
Yeah.
I'll find a place for it. All right. Let me run it real quick. Now it's turning even more now. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I see what.
See, at first it was turning at the 30. Now it's turning at 25. So
what adjustment are you going to make now to try to get that?
So I did something here on these prongs up at the top right corner right here. So I'm gonna grab these prongs and I'm gonna move it. Let me see if I turn it upside down. I'm gonna spin these prongs this way. I'm gonna turn them that way a little bit. So this is why I say go slow. That way you can see your bass develop. See what the bass is doing. All right. Let's run it again. Okay, so now it's back turn at the 30 again. So now I know that it's these prongs right here, this top right corner of the bass, that's causing this bass to turn like it is. And I haven't used any heat yet. I haven't used any sandpaper yet. And I haven't used scissors. Because those three tools, once you use them on a bass, there's no going back. Once you melt, once you cut, or once you rub something away from a bass, that's it. You're stuck with it. So now that we know that those particular prongs are causing the bass to turn, we know how to now handle this bass to get it to move a little bit straighter. All right. Got my lighter here. This one works. What I like doing, I always like starting with the back, the rear prongs first. So I got my lighter. I touch over the prongs like that. And you're familiar with flashing, right? You know how to flash, right?
Right. Yeah, I do that.
Okay. Hit those prongs. All right. Now inspect them a little bit. Now, mind you, these Pro lines really don't have any flash on them. Just the by using the lighter, it helps to maybe harden the tips of those prongs just a little bit to take some of the drag that the bass may have when it runs.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna use my my duckbill pliers to take out any beading that may have occurred during the during my use of the lighter. So pretty much, when you tweak, you're already using these techniques, right?
Yeah, the heat is the only thing I wasn't using because I didn't really, the candle warmer, I was basically doing my tweaking without, but pretty much doing the same thing there that you're doing.
Okay, all right. So we're on the same page here. We're on the same page. So
Right.
I'm gonna run test this bass real quick after flashing the rear prongs, and we're gonna see what kind of performance we get. You ready to watch this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's see what happens. All right, and just by flashing those rear prongs, you see where the bass is, right?
Yeah.
Did you lose it in your video?
No, I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
The bass didn't turn at the 30-yard line.
No, it kept straight.
Yeah, it kept straight. Now, mind you, my board is a moderate running board. This is really not a game time board here. So the bass doesn't have the get up that it should have by now. When I put it on an aluminum board, it will run faster. We're going to do that later. So I flashed those rear prongs. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to flash these front prongs and see if we can get more out of this bass.
Okay.
All right. And normally I would hold it with a figure, so I keep my hands out of the way here. So we're gonna hit these prongs on this side over here. These prongs over here.
Right.
Got my heat. I'll do it one more time. Got it.
Now,
go ahead.
Do you usually tweak with the player on the bass or without the player on the bass?
Well, when I initially work a bass, I start with a naked bass. Because I wanna see the bass progress.
Yeah.
How it's running without a figure, and then when I put a figure on it, then I monitor what it does.
Yeah. I try to tweak to the bass or to the figure, and then more so than do the bass.
Right. So I would tell anybody who's not sure about tweaking, like, I don't know where you are, how you feel about your tweaking, but if you aren't sure about how to tweak, I say tweak bass first. Because figures have the pose itself of a figure. Okay? Pose itself. I'm gonna lay these guys out real quick, because this is another subject, but we gotta talk about it. We don't want to digress too much. This is a Haiti Repro running back. This Carolina Panther figure right here, and this figure, the Cardinal figure, is a Mega Wash running back. The pose, as you already know, the pose will have an effect on how that bass performs. Although it's not much weight difference between these two figures, although in my hand this Mega Wash figure feels like it has a little more weight to it, although it's not that much weight difference, but the way the figure is positioned on this platform will cause that bass to perform in different ways.
Yeah, right.
And if you're new to tweaking, right, if you're new to the hobby, you won't understand how the figure will impact that bass. But if you start with a bass first and learn what to do with the bass, then that will develop your understanding on how to make that bass perform when you put a figure on it. You get it?
Yeah.
Because the figure, at the end of the day, the figure is only a figure until you put it on a bass. The bass is the soul of the figure. The bass is the hobby. It's the backbone of the hobby.
Right.
This right here. Without this, you can't play electric football. So I tweak the bass first. I tell anybody, tweak the bass first and then worry about how the figure affects your tweak. See? Once you learn your tweak technique, then you'll be able to tweak for the figure. But you're already doing that. You're tweaking for the figure, right?
Right.
Okay, you're there. But there are other people in the hobby who are not. See? If you put skills, if you put the hobby skills on a scale of 1 to 10, okay, if you say 10 is the best, you got some people who are at 10, you got some people who are at 7, you got some who are at 2, you got some who are at 1. 1 being beginner, just starting.
Right.
All right. Well, the only way to start playing EF, and if you want to learn how to tweak, you gotta get that bass and work with it. See?
Right.
That's why in this video, I'm showing this. That's why in my last tweak video, I showed the bass first and then the figure. Then as far as you, before this video, I didn't know what level you were on. I didn't know how you went about how you went about tweaking, but now you told me you tweak for your figure.
Right.
You're pretty much there. You pretty much got the idea. So now I want to flash these prongs right here. Got my heat. Get it. Let's put the base on the table. Well, without the figure. Let's run it and see what we get.
Okay.
Now it's going a little further, but this time it turned to 40-yard line. Do you still have a visual of the base?
Yeah, I see it now. It was doing pretty good there for a minute, and it kind of turned off to the right.
Yeah, but you see how the base is like how it's changing as we do something different to it. It causes the base to run. It
right.
Causes the base to run different. All right, run it again. Okay, now the base turns close to the 30, almost at the 40, at the 38.
Right.
But that's okay though. That's okay. I'm having a good time. What about you?
I am.
Okay.
Learning.
All right. So.
Good stuff.
So now, I'm gonna take my pliers,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to touch these front prongs one more time, because, like I said earlier, when you use your lighter, the tips of the prongs, when the plastic melts a little, the tips of the prongs can bead up, and the beading on those prongs can cause the base to slide a little bit.
Okay.
So let me run this base again. Let's see how it goes. All right. Now it's turning to the right at the 30-yard line. So again, you see how the base, how it changes every time we do something different to it, right?
Right.
Okay. Let me see here. Put my pliers down. Bring the base back. I got my heated pliers right here from the coffee mug warmer. And while I'm holding them, it's giving them time to cool off. You touch them a little bit. If you touch the pliers, if the pliers sting your hands a little bit from having it on the coffee mug warmer too long,
right,
then that means your pliers are too hot. So the time I'm spending talking to you, it's going to give these pliers time to cool off a bit.
Okay.
Okay. They appear to be warm. They appear to be warm now. So I'm going to take these pliers and I'm going to go to the rear of the base here and I'm going to touch these prongs. Just touch them a little bit. All right. Got a little heat on them.
Mm-hmm.
Soften them up a bit. And we didn't melt the prongs. See?
Yeah, they look good there.
Prongs are still intact. So we're going to set our base down. Now, mind you, because I'm working the camera and the video gear, my hands are all over the place. So I may have made a mistake and I may have twisted those prongs a little bit, but we'll be able to fix that. All right?
Right.
Let's run the base, see what we get. It's a little bit faster, but the base tends to veer off to the right a little bit. As far as I'm concerned, I like my results with this base so far. Now,
You're close to being done with.
Well, yeah, I'm close to being done. Maybe, maybe not. I gotta put it on a figure. I gotta put a player on it. I don't know what it's gonna do yet. My main concern right now is to get this base to move. That's what I tell anybody that's tweaking out there, you know, especially new people. You want to get the base to move. All right, so, all right. Let me see here. I'm gonna use my fingers a little bit now because I done put pliers on it, and I still haven't used my Zurin pliers yet. You know, we haven't like really touched the individual prong yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Grab my Zurin pliers, and I'm gonna go to the individual prong, and I'm gonna touch them a little bit. I don't need to bite down too much, because we've already flattened them already with our duckbill pliers. And we want to make sure these prongs don't lay down on the board, because that'll cause drag, right?
Right.
And you want to make sure that we don't twist our wrist as we bite down on these prongs. Okay. Use my thumb a little bit, straighten them out. Yeah, this is how I used to do it when I was a kid. I ain't had no pliers.
Yeah.
Look, I'll be holding the bass, man, using my fingers like this, man. All right, let me see. These rear prongs, I did those ones. We're gonna come to the front ones in a moment. Gonna run test the bass, see how it look. Got a little bit more speed out of it initially, right?
Yeah.
And it's still veered to the right a little bit.
Not as bad, but it's running better there.
Okay, so let me see. So now I'm gonna come to the front prongs here. I'm gonna do the same thing.
You still have to tweak them bad boys every play. Fingers.
Yeah, see, if you gotta tweak a bass for every play, if you gotta use pliers to do that, that means your bass is under tweaked.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, you should be using your fingers in the middle of, between plays.
I was just talking about this growing up when your kids and didn't have pliers and before we didn't do that before.
Yeah, but
like every other player, so you
yeah,
kind of getting the runway.
But I'm glad you said that though, because that just brought in another topic that we need to convey to the audience. You know, if you're in the middle of a game and you gotta tweak your bass after every play, that means your bass is under tweaked. You know, if you gotta take pliers and stop and adjust your player again, you may have to spend more time tweaking your bass. Now there was a conversation on Facebook. Norbert Rebels was talking, and he was saying how, after maybe a month or so, when the bass been sitting for a while,
Mm-hmm.
you may have to go back and hit those basses again with your pliers, because the plastic will lose its shape. It'll come back to its original shape that it was in when you first took the bass out of the pack. So if let's say you got a team, you played with them already, and you put them away in on your table back there, and you don't use them for a while, and you tweak those basses, you smashed the prongs, you flashed, did all that, right?
Right.
And you come back to that team, and you think they're gonna play the same way they did when you first tweaked them, and your boys wind up running crazy, linemen get pushed off line of scrimmage, and you sitting there like, well, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
Because those bases need to get touched again. So look, we're going to do another run test. Let's see what we got. Okay. This time it ran to the 50.
Yeah, it's not bad there.
It's moving out a little faster also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I still haven't put it on my aluminum board yet. So I know that when I put it on a traditional board, that this bass is gonna get out. And I still haven't done my strength test yet.